Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my respected public speaking lecturer, Madam Asmiza Shamshi, and to my dearest viewers, brothers and sisters. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. My name is Fatin Amani, binti Yahya, and for today's video, obviously you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about verbal abuse. So without further ado, let's get it. Firstly, what is verbal abuse? Verbal abuse is an act of forcefully criticizing or denouncing or insulting another person. When most people think of verbal abuse, they think of narcissistic boyfriends or abusive mothers, but verbal abuse can happen in any relationship. We can realize or identify an act of verbal abuse when the abuser directly criticizing a victim. But when it happens indirectly, that's when it gets tricky. There is an act of verbal abuse. We call it toxic amnesia. Gosh, what in the world is toxic amnesia? Don't worry, we're going to be diving deep into this topic. When we talk about toxic amnesia, sometimes we might heard it referred to as selective memory or whatever. And toxic amnesia is an act when an abuser or a narcissist or someone like that choose to forget certain things. They choose to forget things that they did to cause hurt, pain, distress, or whatever. And they will only maybe focus on one thing, the good that they did, how kind they were, how generous they were. For example, when a fight occurs, they will focus on the reaction of the other person. It means that when somebody antagonizes, belittles, and provokes, and they keep on doing it until the other persons react. And when the other persons react, it is the reaction that being focused on, not what caused it. Now, toxic amnesia is the forgetting what they did to cause it. It is a form of gaslighting, rewriting another person's reality, rewriting their history. It is a way of having that person second guess themselves. Now remember, narcissists are generally, or at least they consider themselves to be an accomplished actor, brilliant performer. Well, in a lot of ways they are. However, they can't keep that muscle for too long. Sooner or later, everybody will see through them. Toxic amnesia is another form of verbal abuse. It is a way of not accepting responsibility. It is a way of distracting and manipulating. How do you deal with it? When you got into an argument with this type of person, they will try to change the story and make it all blame on you. But you must remember the story, the real story. You must never forget. You were there, you were a witness, you saw it, you heard it, you felt it, you experienced it. You were there, whether the person chooses to remember or not. Remember your integrity, your autonomy. So basically, this offensive command was said from a person, followed by a simple "I'm just joking," as if the word can somehow magically erase the command's insulting nature. Often the "it's just a joke" defense is viewed as a free pass to say anything, even if the thing is sensitive to the recipient or the victim, such as their appearance, their races, or even their health condition. Social media and texting have made it even easier for people to spout off their mean-spirited, derogatory, and offensive commands, since they can just easily explain their remarks with a JK, LOL, or a winky face emoji. What adds insult to injury is when the recipient calls out the jokester and is reprimanded with comments like, "You're so sensitive." This reaction can sometimes hurt more than the original insults, because now the joker is now mocking and invalidating the person's feelings while saying that the persons do not have a sense of humor. If you've been on the receiving end of a hurtful or offensive comments, followed by "just joking," here are some tips on how to respond. So firstly, let them know how you feel. The sooner the better. Say something like, "I know you meant it as a joke, but it hurts my feelings." If you can say it in front of other people, it can be more effective. The person may be somewhat embarrassed and think twice before making the offensive comments in the future. Secondly, if the person's reply with "get yourself a sense of humor," say something like, "I have a great sense of humor, but I don't find jokes that mocking another person's appearance or something like that to be very funny. I actually think it's very offensive." Third, if the joker is a relative or a close friend, be aware that he or she may truly thought that you would find it funny. Explain to them that you wouldn't mind a little bit of innocent teasing, but the comments went too far and was hurtful. Try to avoid stooping to their level by returning the insult. Doing so can lead to an endless cycle of mean, negative behavior. Take the higher road, let them know how you feel, and let it go. If If you find your jokes can sometimes lead to hurt feelings, here are some tips to avoid future problems. So, think before you speak. Before you open your mouth, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If the answer is no, then keep your comment to yourself. Don't judge or argue about the validity of the other person's reaction. Everyone is entitled to their feelings. Don't defend yourself and insist that the others love your sense of humor. Apologize. Make it a heartfelt, authentic apology. Don't say something like, I'm sorry if I hurt you. Take responsibility and acknowledge the hurt feelings. Say that you're really sorry and you'll be more sensitive in the future. Do some self-searching and think about the possible reasons why you're teasing this person. Do you have ill will, or jealousy or resentment toward this person? Or is someone picking on you with some mean-spirited jokes that you're just passing it along? Or are you struggling with your self-esteem? If you're a witness, but not the recipient of the mean-spirited jokes, here are some tips to support the victim and to promote kindness. So firstly, do not laugh long. If people do not have an audience for the jokes, they are less likely to let the insults fly. Call out that person. Say something along the lines of, hey, that's rude, or hey, that's not funny. If you don't feel comfortable calling out the mean comments, approach the victim after and let her know that the person was wrong for doing that, for saying that. Empathy from a caring, supportive friends can take away a lot of stings left by the hurtful comment. All in all, verbal abuse has been normalized in our daily life when it shouldn't be, mostly on social medias like Twitter. Well, why I emphasize this Twitter is because Instagram and Twitter are the most used social medias nowadays by the millennials. But Instagram is how we want it to be seen, while Twitter is us, personality-wise. So be kind and spread positivity. Treat people how we want it to be treated. Be kind to anyone. Be kind to the unkind. They needed it most. We don't know what they have been going through. Like Ian McLaren, the British author, once said, everyone we met is fighting a battle we know nothing about. Be kind always. Peace.